Okay, I'm back on here again, and this is part two of Sundays with Nay. Thank you so much for joining me. And this is still about Exodus 1, 2, and 3. And it's like the story of Moses and the covering and provision that his mother did, and then allowing God to do his part and bringing them back together so she was able to be able to nurse her son and get paid wages for taking care of her son. And as her son got older, he was raised royalty as the Pharaoh's daughter. Son. Pharaoh's daughter's son. So Pharaoh's grandson. Okay? So he was raised up royalty, but he knew where he came from. And so he had compassion when he seen one of his brothers being mistreated and working hard. And you in the story it says that we will be um, you know, afflicted and oppressed by the people that we have to work for, and we will get paid little to no wages. But anyway, to make a long story short, he seen that happening, and he ended up killing the man that was hurting his brother, you know. Um, and so after he killed him, he buried him. Anyway, they found the body, woo to woo to woo, and he ran and he hid. Okay. And he started a life and everything else, and then eventually everybody knows the story. He had to come back and he had to fulfill a job. And that is the thing that I wanted to touch on, because that's the reason why I enjoy reading the Bible. Because if we just read it and then journal our thoughts about it, I think it would bring everything into proper perspective of us, to us, about what is going on around us. And that story, with everything that is going on around us right now, um, Moses had compassion on his brother. You see so many people just sitting and recording while things are happening. When do we have compassion to sit and defend our brother? Not saying that we have to kill anyone, but at the same time, get out for them. Don't do them like that. But everyone is so fearful to where no one is willing to reach out and try to protect anyone, let alone themselves. And so in the book, in the beginning part, before it got to that part, it talks about how Pharaoh tried to minimize the growth of that nation or those people, because he knew the more that they grow, the stronger that they would get, and that eventually they would rise up against them because of the foul treatment that Pharaoh was giving them. And I look at that as that is what's going on now. You see more people starting their own business. You see more entrepreneurship, people doing their own things, entrepreneurship, doing their own thing, same thing, but you see more people actually using the wisdom and the knowledge that God has given them. And people are actually utilizing the gifts that God has placed inside of us. And so it's like the story is repeating itself. And it's like the reason why we grow in multitude, because eventually one of these generations is going to get it. And we always talk about our 90s babies just always are so privileged and so disrespectful. But maybe those are the ones who are going to be strong enough to stand and pull us out of this. Because all the generations before, you have a group of people who are so strong and they'll fight, but we don't have a unity to where everyone stand together, to where we push together with that strength and we overcome. We can never succeed if just a handful of people is willing to stand up. And I'm not talking about standing up with a march, because a march ain't really doing anything if tomorrow someone else is going to record someone else doing anything. But what do we do to come together as a people to prevent that from happening again? You know, that is what we need to come together as. You know, since everyone is beginning to get their visions and their dreams and actually walking in their gifts that God has placed inside of them, why can't we depend on each other? Why can't we build a barrier to make sure our families come home safe? I feel like there's so much that we can do. And I know that now that my life is getting more settled, I am going to try to go to more meetings with the city council and just know what more is going on and see what more I can do. Because like anyone who know me, I'm a woman of many words. And so if my voice can help someone stand a little bit taller or speak a little bit louder or get a perspective that they may have not thought of before, to find a way to get our babies home to us, to get our husbands home to us, to get our grandfathers home to us, to get our uncles home to us, to get our aunties home to us, to get our children home to us. Everyone is being hurt by this because reading the book of Exodus, it says that when we grow in multitude, we grow in strength. And they have to cut down our strength. And the way that they cut down our strength is placing fear in us to where we will not move forward. But if we band together, and I vow to protect you so you can get home safe, and you vow to protect me so I can get home safe. And being with the limited resources that we have, I give you a good deal with the knowledge and my gift that I have, because I'm going to let my gift be a blessing to you. And we circulate all these positive vibes and all these gifts that we have, and we teach one another to where, guess what? Generational wealth. We're breaking generational curses of being quiet. We're breaking generational curses of being fearful. We're breaking generational curses of not wanting to let our light shine, because we was placed here to let our light shine, because the light comes from God. And so I know this video is a little long, but please, 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 take time to read Exodus 1, 2, and 3. And it just let us know exactly what we do. We say that we now, because I was one who always said, don't nobody got an instructional guide on how to be a parent, but if we take the time to read, it tell us pretty much what not to do. And it pretty much tell us what to do. And then it says, life and death I lays before you. Please choose life. So whatever you choose is literally what you have. So if you choose to walk in fear, you won't move. And guess what? Your loved ones suffer from your fear. We have to stand because we're growing in multitude. Our children are having children. Our grandchildren are having children. We are growing in multitude. And because we are beginning to walk in our gifts, we're instilling these gifts inside of them. So guess what? We're growing in strength. Let's learn how to utilize those gifts amongst us to where we can stop depending on the ones that hurt us. We connect with the ones that are good, because not everyone is bad. Just like we don't want everyone to characterize us by the bad ones, let's not characterize all them by the bad ones. But let's look at the heart of them. Let's look at the servitude of them. Let's look at the mind of them. Let's see what we can do to come together to protect our babies and make sure our babies get home safe. So I thank y'all for joining me. Please, please, please go read Exodus 1, 2, and 3. And just sit and allow God to speak to you about what he wants you to take from that message. Okay? So I love you all. Thank you for joining me for another Nene Moment. Sundays with Nay. And this is on Exodus 1, 2, and 3. And please look forward to joining me on Wednesday for Wednesday Wisdom, where I will be showing or sharing, because I won't be showing y'all anything. I'm a woman of many words, so I will tell you what I be doing. But I will share things that I am doing to center myself to where I can try to hear and get the perspective that he want me to have on what he would have me to do in life, instead of going on my interpretation of man, because man have hurt me every time. Not man that I have connected to, but just the understanding, or the, just all that. But thank you for joining me. I love you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.